that's okay. We are going to get started with this positivity talk. We're going to get it going. We're going to make it happen. We're going to push on through. We're going to be talking about dreams on this positivity talk. So I first obviously want to say thank you to everybody who's here for coming out and hanging out with these. This is one of my dreams, okay? This is honestly one of my dreams, is to be able to give back to others, because the purpose of this talk, while I'm not like a psychiatrist, I'm not a I'm not like a voodoo shaman that knows something about how to be able to interpret dreams or something like that. My purpose of these talks is that even if one person's day is better, or it enables them or inspires them to take one step in a positive direction in their life, then I think that these talks are completely worth it, and I've accomplished my dream. And that's something that I want to give to everybody in Twitch, in my chat, on if you watch these videos on YouTube. And again, you can be part of these talks. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, I stream on twitch.tv/Rufio, the same name as the channel. And we do these talks on Tuesdays, at least once a month. So you can find me there, and we'll just kind of get right into it. But you're still making stuff happen, trying to. So the big thing that I want to get out front is a clarification. This, like, whenever I say dreams, it's not like, I don't mean like like this, and then all of a sudden, like the dream, like the dreams that you dream at night. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm not like I said earlier, I'm not actually Nazebo that will tell you what crazy things lie deep into your cerebellum that, like, shape everything that happens, right? It's not that. This is about dreams, right, that we have, that shape our culture, that shape our lives, that it's about visions of a better tomorrow. It's about that sense of lightness and freedom, that weightlessness, right? Those deep, like that feeling of like deep, full breaths, like sort of like arriving at a great vacation spot after a long journey. Something that even my mom thought of was that she talked about, just happenstance, that she told me about, that she thinks of soap bubbles and babies laughing and bright blue skies with the perfect temperature outside, right? That's like like I'm trying to be able to capture like what it is like whenever you have that feeling of a dream, right? You just feel electrically alive, like just needing to burst, right? Some of the best quotes, right? Some of the best quotes that I found while kind of looking at these, right? Because dreams, there's no shortage of quotes about dreams, people. Okay, that will fill your inbox quick, fast, and hurry if you look at those, if you Google that. But here are some of my favorites, right? And some of them that even had me looking at dreams a different way. So like this first one had me looking at dreams a little bit different way, and kind of how I a little bit structured this talk as well. But this one's from Peter Senge. It's dreams are not ideas. Dreams are not even important concepts like freedom, right? They're not even important concepts like freedom, which was kind of a thing for me to think about. But dreams are rather... First off, that's a dream right there, helping out a kid in need. Thank you so much, Avum, for gifting that sub to the Mommy Gamers. Thank you. That's awesome. And thank you for being a hero, for helping out kids in need. You rock. So, like, to kind of continue that quote, dreams are not ideas. Dreams are not even important concepts like freedom. Dreams are, rather, a force in people's hearts, a force of impressive power. It is palpable. People begin to see it as if it exists. Few, if any, forces in human affairs are as powerful as shared dreams. And I will, like I will say that one was a pretty strong one. Like I really like Peter Senge's quote for that. Another one from Joel Barker: "A vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action can change the world." Right? Then vision and dream, and we'll talk about that here in a second, those are kind of interchangeable a little bit, but my dream of having a sub baby with Mr. J just happened too. Whoop. What should we name it? Tell me, Mr. J, I love you. Man, you guys are Thank you so much for that, man. We've had 4 subs today. That is crazy. I love you all to freaking death. Thank you so much for helping out kids in need. That's one of my dreams as well, and that's the power of shared dreams right there, being able to help out kids in need. Another one. This one's from Helen Keller. While I'm frozen, right there. How about this one? This one's from Helen Keller. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Okay? The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. So basically having sight but no dream. That's pretty powerful, man. That's kind of crazy. Man. Nuts. And I know that, and so, Bob. What's up, Bob? All right. We'll name it Bob. Our sub baby has now been named Bob. Bobby. Does Bob go by Bobby or Bobberino or possibly Robert? I don't know. But I like Bob. I like Bob. Bob. So I know that this topic is kind of weird to talk about. And I want to address that too up front, because people think, like, in order to be able to talk about dreams or even to have like a dream, right, you need to have some sort of clairvoyance or like mysticism about you, right, in order to have it. No, people, you don't. You don't need to have that. I mean, like even whenever you look at the root of the word, so dreaming, vision, ideas, and imagination. Okay, believe it or not, all 4 of those words, right? The reason why I say is that they're interchangeable. They all actually came from the same root word. You know that? They all came from the exact same root word, which is mysteria in the Greek sense. They all came from that word, which by definition literally means no one knew where it came from. No one knows where it came from. And that's why whenever someone says dreams, people are just kind of like, what does it mean? I don't really know. And even whenever I was looking at into researching this topic, think about this. I realized something that was so crazy. Whenever I was looking at this, not only do we not even know where dreams come from, or you know, kind of like it seems like this out of this world concept, we don't even really study it. Did you know that? We don't even really study where these feelings, this thing that has shaped this world, we hardly have any of it. I found a stat online, and think about this, okay? Between 1950 and 2000, right? 1950 and 2000, 50 years of psychological studies. Think about this. Less than 1% investigated the aspects of the creative dreaming process. Less than 1% of all psychological studies actually looked into how you can do this. Like this thing that's innate in us, that we want to dream, that we need to dream. Less than 1% in 50 years. So I will tell you that whenever I was researching this topic, the reason why it kind of took a little bit longer than just 1 month, right? I do one every single month. The reason why this one took a little bit more than 1 month is because, like, the science that I really tried to find, I found it hard to have concrete evidence that I was confident with sharing with you all. Dead serious. I mean, it was rough. Like, everybody has an opinion on it, but while I appreciate opinions, I have my own, right? I'm going to share with you facts that I know have worked, but sprinkle that in with some of my opinions and some of the things that you can utilize. But like, I'm not just gonna like regurgitate something that someone said. But so it just really astonishes me that we look at so many things that are related to it, right? Like leadership, getting to yes, right? Like sales, like even virtues, right? I found a ton of things on virtues, but we don't actually look at this intangible force that literally has single-handedly shaped history more than anything else. I don't get it. It blows my mind. So from what information we have, like, let's go ahead and unpack what the potential is, what some harmful things to watch out for, right? We're gonna address that up front, and what action items we can do to move the needle for our own dreams. Because if you don't attempt to live out your dreams, write this quote down, okay? If you don't attempt to live out your dreams, you'll end up living out someone else's. Okay? If you don't attempt to live out your dreams, you'll end up living out someone else's. And that's the truth. if you don't do something that you're passionate about, you'll end up doing something else that someone else is passionate about. So go. Dreams are huge, right? So you probably also, hello Shipwrecked. Hey buddy. I hope your tacos were fantastic. By the way, check out this shirt. It's Tuesday somewhere. Word for you, Shipwrecked. And so you probably just heard like a little bit on there like that dreams can be negative, and you're probably right now thinking like, I don't even know what that means. Like, blah? That's probably what Katie Reed is doing right now in the corner. Blah? So like, it's true, like dreams can have a negative effect when you have the wrong direction, right? So I want to address this up front because this is something that is in our media. This isn't something that we have heard quite a bit about, unfortunately, recently. But they can be having bad dreams and staying in them, they can be harmful to your mental health if you're constantly having negative dreams. While most people dream about fantasies and other desirable events, right? Like that's kind of the norm. Others may well be dreaming about doing something harmful to themselves or others. Okay? With the positive things, we have to acknowledge the negative things. There have been many cases of suicidal people driving along the road and dreaming about crashing into a tree or just like sometimes these types of dreaming fantasies that are in there can be rather involved with a great deal of detail. It's almost like a plan rather than a fantasy whenever people start going into that. When it involves something that could harm, dreaming is likely to be a detrimental quality. So if you're having any of these type of thoughts, please seek out professional help. And I'm not saying like like you have these like every once in a while, right? Because everybody has these, but I'm saying like if you consistently keep going down this road, that's not a good place to be in, right? Like right now, I can comb through my head and think about negative thoughts that I've had, and I mean everybody has them, right? The big thing is to acknowledge it and then acknowledge it for what it is, and then move on. Do not stay in that negative place. Do not stay there, right? That place will only bring you harm. So like if you notice yourself being in that place a lot, if you feel like you're in this space of bad dreams and negative places and a negative life, and to where like those type of tendencies of like suicidal thoughts or hurting and harming other people or things like that, please seek professional help. So I want to get that out there at the very beginning. But just like what you should do, which is acknowledge that you have them and then move on. That's what we're kind of going to do and transition into some of the good stuff that dreams will be able to help you out with. So dreams will help you overcome obstacles. Hello, Jay, by the way. Hey, friend. Dreams will help you overcome obstacles in the way that helps you hold on when times are tough, right? So kind of like whenever you're looking at this and things are going down, like dreams give you hope, and hope is incredibly powerful. A dream that is well defined will also help you to focus and create a purpose that becomes your measurement for success. And I know that's kind of a bigger statement, but let me go ahead and kind of unpack that a little bit. So a dream that is well defined helps you to focus and create a purpose that becomes your measurement for success, right? So take for instance, whenever at the very beginning of every single one of my positivity talks, I talk about what my dream is, right? I define it for everybody to see in there. So if it helps one person to be able to live a better, more positive life, or it encourages people to take that extra step, that is my dream, right? Like, so whenever I hear people like Mommy Gamers, take for instance, whenever you said that you really enjoy the positivity talks, like that right there, my measurement for success, that just filled me, that fuels me very much. That feels great because that measurement of my success just got affirmed, and that's awesome, right? And so if you don't have a vision of who you want to be, or like how you want to succeed, or how you want, or really what you want out of life, like you start beginning to lack drive. And honestly, your life, instead of just living from like, to some moment to some moment to some moment, like your life just literally just becomes an order of events, right? Like if you don't really have like a purpose or like a goal or a dream, like think about this. If you're just kind of doing it and floating by, like that's all it's going to be. It's only just going to be a sequence of events. And I want so much more for life for all of you. And all of you have that capability. You can lead these lives of being rich, full lives because you have maybe you have a daily, like a dream tomorrow to be like, you know what, tomorrow I have a dream of going up to somebody and high five them. I don't know what that, like, I'm just throwing this out there because it's like a small thing, but you may even have like a bigger dream of like, you know what, I'm gonna start streaming, or I'm gonna help somebody out, or I'm going to be the best insert job title person that there is, or I'm going to serve my community. That all those are dreams, and all of those become more than just an order of events. It becomes a life purpose. It becomes a passion. It becomes a calling, right? And each one of you have that ability to make it happen. And that's what's so awesome, right? By being mindful of our dreams and our passionate purpose, we live fuller, richer lives. And I'm not going to go down like a mindfulness path because that has its own positivity talk in and of itself. So right now we're kind of stuck with that, but you feel much more value as a person when you set and achieve these visions and goals that directly come from your dream, right? Dreams honestly even help your mind relax, right? How many times have you been sitting there not really knowing what's about ready to happen, and you feel that anxiety, right? Like kind of building up just right in there, and it kind of just factored in there, and then it comes out at you, right? Like, oh my goodness. Grunner,
I dream of the biggest 12-month anniversary for my dreamiest Doki Doki boy.
Oh my goodness, I freaking love you, Gunner. Oh my goodness, thank you, buddy. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that, man. Thank you for 12 months, man. Holy crap. With the tier 2, oh man, you're just a freaking boss. You're the greatest boy of all time. Thank you, man. Sincerely. But yeah, it's so like whenever you sit there and think and let your mind relax, right? You have a purpose, and you know, and you have this dream of where you're going to be going. You're not anxious of like, oh, well, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if this is even really what I want to do, but I'm doing it anyway. And like, oh, maybe I should have done it this way, or maybe I should have done that. Like, if you have this dream, you know what your focus is. You know where the end result is. You know where you're going to be heading. And so whenever you have that, right, it's going to be more inspiring, and you're going to be able to keep that as a really just in your mind, and it'll help you relax with it. You won't have that anxiety that's in there, right? Dreams can also help you manage conflict. Whenever you know what you're going for, you can sit there and think, okay, well, if I have a dream to do this or you know, imagine these different things, you're going to be able to manage conflict better. You just are, because you know that you're sticking along this path, this guideline, this straight and narrow. So, oh man. Man, oh, hold on, wait, it's Grundner's birthday? Oh my goodness. Okay, first, everybody, I'm going to take a moment to pause. And Grundner, you stick around. I'm singing happy birthday to you right after this. Right after this, I'm singing you happy birthday, and you will accept my love. Ha! It's going to be a hug with words and tunes. It's going to be great. One of the things that I even looked up is this, what I like to call myth, mystery, or meh, right? Myth, mystery, or meh. So this idea of self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Dreaming is kind of in that self-fulfilling prophecy. And for those of you who don't know what a self-fulfilling prophecy is, it's basically like when a prediction that directly, by definition, it actually is, when a prediction that directly or indirectly causes itself to become true by the very terms of the prophecy itself, due to positive feedback between belief and behavior. Okay, that's the term. Basically, it's saying like the reason why this is gonna happen, like the reason why I know I'm going to be, the reason why I know that I'm okay. How about this? The reason why I know that my positivity talks are going to be great is because I know that my positivity talks are great. Does that make sense? Like, the reason why I'm going to succeed is because it's the reason that I believe I'm going to succeed. That's kind of what it means, right? And the verdict is obviously still, like, these type of things you can't, like, prove or disprove or anything like that. But the way that my overall thought on this, right, with this type of dream scenario, my overall thought is, even if it's mystery or meh, as opposed to like, you know, myth or anything like that, like what exactly is it? It couldn't hurt, might help, right? It's a term because this thing has actually happened. So why not dream big, right? What I'll tell you I'll tell you what a dream can do. Okay, let me shed some light on you on this example. Okay, polio, right? Horrible disease. There is the dream of eradicating polio worldwide, right? Big scope. That's a big thing to take on. Huge undertaking. But whenever this was just a few years ago, and whenever you break it down, really, the dream of eradicating polio, whenever they were looking at this, right? That, like, basically world leaders were looking at this on how to eradicate this disease. And whenever you broke it down, after saying, yeah, we're gonna eradicate polio worldwide, it really only fell down to actually three main countries, right? Three main countries. It was India, Pakistan, and Nigeria, right? Which is crazy. To be there in the second. India was the biggest undertaking just from the sheer population, having 120,000 kids born every single day there, which is nuts. However, in India, they believed it allowed everyone to work in that space, right? At helping to be able to eradicate polio, right? They allowed it to happen. They believed in this dream. They wanted to eradicate polio. They saw their friends, their family members, everybody suffering from this horrible, horrible disease. And so they believed in this and they allowed people to come and get help. Pakistan, on the other hand, didn't even want the helpers there, so they sent them home. Right? They actually kept them from coming into their country. They prevented them from even getting in. They even get this, people chopped off the workers' hands. The volunteers that were there, they chopped off their hands, saying they didn't want them there, and they sent them home like that to try and prove a point. You know what happened? You know what happened after that? The belief in a dream came through. The amount of people volunteering whenever they heard about this, to be able to treat the disease in Pakistan, it skyrocketed upwards. It skyrocketed upwards because of this belief that was in them, because they knew that it was something good, and if something bad opposes it, they pushed harder. That's what a dream can do. Man, that's what I'm talking about. And not only that, in work, right? How about this? How about in work, you can look at, there was a fun study that happened in 2014. So just a few years ago, right? So that's like worldwide, right? A huge dream. In work, right? For those of you who are in there was a study that happened in 2014 about managers who were action based, right? Versus managers who built the dream, the concept of the dream, of what their dream was. So managers who basically were task driven versus ones who were visionaries was kind of the classification of what they had. The managers who created the mystique of the dream were not only more effective, they got more done with their team, they were more influential without the organization, and got promoted faster by almost double. That's the power of a dream. That's the power of bringing people together. That's the power of having everybody latch on to this dream, this idea, this belief. And look how far it can come. You can eradicate polio. It's crazy. You can go so far with it. It's nuts. Also, I want to take a second also, being cool. I just read on there, on the positive side, your cousin, the 2-year-old with cancer, gets his bone marrow transfusion this weekend and it was successful. Congratulations. That is incredible. I am so very happy for that. And it says his family's asking for prayers, though, that it keeps working. I definitely want to go ahead and tell you that if I will be praying for him for sure. Being cool. So thank you for sharing that. Get all the hype in chat for cool and a 2-year-old cousin. Congrats. Treating the situation in those countries or better their state generally is way to go. Yeah, redundant surface. So I'm not going to pretend like I know how to eradicate polio by any stretch of the imagination. I was just talking about an actual event that is currently happening right now. So I'm leaving that to the professionals, right? And what's up, OT? How are you, buddy? Good to see you too. And yes, hello, Big Nico as well. Hello. Pay off the Nigeria's national debt if they eradicate polio. Yeah, so the Gates Foundation is actually the one who helped with this dream. Fun fact, being cool. So the Gates Foundation is actually the one who helped with this, with the world leaders. They're the ones who wanted to eradicate this, and that's the backing of a dream. It's crazy. So so some of you are probably sitting here thinking, right, as we kind of are coming up on our time to, kind of say, hey, okay, so I love these dreams, right? I have this dream. I have this inside of me. I have this energy and I have this passion of what I want to do. So what can I do to act on mine, right? And so I never like to leave everybody out there that's just kind of like, oh, I don't really know what to do. I don't really know. Yeah, this concept is cool, but he didn't, I guess I believe him. Like, dreaming is cool, but I don't really know what to do, right? So there are four things that I'm going to tell you. And this, again, like I was telling you earlier, this research was done. Oh, shut up. Mommy Gamers gifting the tier 1 to OT? Thank you so much, OT. Enjoy your shiny new emo, brother. And Mommy Gamers, thank you for being a hero for the subs for kids. I truly do appreciate that. You're a freaking hero, Marcia. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. So there are four things that I'm gonna tell you, and it's just like a little. It's just something that's gonna be easier. It's called pick, pack, picture, and power up. Okay, pick, pack, picture, and power up. Okay, so the first one is pick, and we're gonna spend the most time here because this is kind of where most of the time should be. Well, this is where most of the time should be spent on being able to figure out what it is, right? Or it may even be the quickest. Who knows? It's gonna be completely up to you and what you feel like your calling is, right? So pick one thing. Okay. Whenever I say pick, you need to pick one thing, right? We as human beings love to go everywhere. We love to think about this, that, and the other. We love to multitask, right? We love to think that this is important, 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 this is important. While there may be a lot of things that are important, what your dream is, you should focus on. Okay, pick one thing, right? Think of one thing. Focus on it. Focus on things that give your life purpose and meaning. Do not put your limit, and right here, do not put limits on your dreams here, okay? Do not put limits on it. Be clear. Be so sharp and so detailed that you can see, that you can smell, that you can taste the smallest details in what you want to pick. Be positive about it. Whenever I say that, acknowledge the difficulties, but don't try and motivate yourself or others with a vision of bad things that might happen if you don't succeed, right? That's horrible. You need to be positive about it. A vision based on fear, okay, a lot of times a vision based on fear may help fuel immediate action, right? Because that's that fight or flight action, but it can also limit your results to damage control, right? To kind of keep it tucked in rather than getting to positive change. Okay, I can tell you right now, a vision based on fear, it may get you going. It may be immediate, but you're looking for the long term here, people. If you're looking for a long term goal, you need to step that aside. Be big enough, okay? Create a bigger picture of the effects of your work than just solving like the current problem at hand. A vision that's too small, right? It may not provide enough inspiration or generate enough energy or to like kind of get you past some of these tough spots that will come along the way. Dreams, any big dream we're doing will always 100% come with tough spots, right? I am not going to sit here and try and tell you that you will not, that'll just be this breeze in the, this easy breezy walk in the park. It is not. All right. It takes work and dedication. It takes sacrifice. Okay. Like it might even like, not only that, if you don't think big enough, like it might even close your mind to what you could achieve, right? You need to also in there include changes in attitudes. You need to give yourself like this recognition that the challenge that you see in front of you is only part of it, right? The rest of the challenge is deeper and often involves some of the stuff that's going to be cooked up in here. Okay? The personal attitude that's going to be strongly held. Okay? You need to do that. You need to be able to be ready for that. You need and finally, like, well, actually, no, not finally. You need to include a clear picture on what you are, like on your part of this, okay? Because the one thing that I don't want you all to do is to sit here and dream big and think that you are that, like with the savior complex or like oh man, like start blaming fingers or anything like that. Whenever you dream, this isn't about ego, people. It's not about ego. It's about you. It's about you taking full responsibility of what you want to achieve and seeking out to do those results that you want, right? and really it needs to come from the heart. Okay, whenever you begin this process for a dream, it needs to come from here. I know that sounds probably counterintuitive, but it needs to come from here first. You go here, then up. Okay, don't try and think your way to a dream. To create a dream that's exciting and compelling, you've got to give yourself the freedom to dream. Okay, to use your imagination to see and feel what does not yet exist. A dream is not the same as goals or objectives. Those come from up here. A dream comes from the heart. Okay, so now after you have this, this inspiration, this thing that's inside of you that you can just feel, that just gets you excited, that gets you up in the morning, that you wanna go and do. Right after that, next is pack. Okay, that was pick, right? The one thing that's going to do all these things. Now, pack. Okay, so this is where you could spend a lot of time. You actually could potentially spend more time here if you're like normally like a learner or someone who likes to pack in as much information as possible, because that's what this stands for, is pack. You want to pack in, you want to get your hand on every article, book, expert, vlog, video, anything that you can do to be able to gain information on the topic that you want, on the topic that you're trying to move forward to, right? Because whenever you're doing this, not only will this one give you more information that you're just going to know off the top of your head, right? It's going to give you that confidence that you're walking into it. It's going to give you, it's going to build your credibility in like just intrinsically, but also quite honestly, sometimes it's even going to tell you, hey, by the way, this dream that you have, it may not even be possible. Right? The first part of it is in your heart and you need to figure out what that is, but maybe there might be sometimes you're like, all right, I envision it this, going this way, but instead, through my research, I think while that dream may still be able to be accomplishable, it may be a completely different direction of where you need to be heading. So you have to have that in there. You have to have that. And whenever you look at it, this is kind of that, whenever you look at the possibilities and the facts that are in there, this is kind of your crap or get off the toilet type of moment, right? Like you need to look at it and say, is this something that I can do? Is this something that's possible? Is this something that's probable? Is this something that's achievable? And this is whenever you keep going, like once you get this, your next one that's on there, all right, so pick, pack, picture, okay? This is where you need to start staying grounded and thinking, how does or can this impact the real world? This is where you begin to just start bursting through people. This is when you start to percolate and bubble from information and passion put together. And this is where your time to start taking action and start shaping a plan to begin moving into. So after you have all of the information, right? You have the brain, you have the heart. Now it's like the picture, you're building this picture of what it is, right? So I have this heart of being able to make this beautiful thing happen. And this is my picture of of my dream. This is the beautiful painting. This is the system. This is the this is the thing that I need to grab a hold of, right? This is the thing that I need in my life to happen. Okay, so the very last one that's on there, after you have all this and you have this picture of what it is, you need to power up. And that's right, I used a gaming term. I'd use an extra P in there simply because of a gaming term. Power up. So believe it or not, this is where your brain starts taking over and making it happen. I know this sounds super odd, and you have to stay with me on this, because basically what happens is your brain, right? How your brain works, it's going to take info from your frontal, your temporal, and your parietal lobes, and they're basically going to mush this all together, right? The thing that's in your heart, the thing that you've now learned about, the picture that you've done, and it will literally start forming these things together, and you will start doing actions that fulfill that, right? You are going to start doing the things on your to-do list. You're going to start saying the right words that go with your mission. People are going to hear these things come through your voice whenever you're communicating. You're going to have this great body posture about yourself with your confidence and your knowledge about it. You're going to be able to exude this energy to everyone that's around you to be able to make this dream happen. Let that sink in, man. A dream that can happen. Man, like we are all capable of doing this. We are all capable of doing that. Every one of you are. And I can tell you right now that I cannot wait to hear about you all living out your dreams throughout your week, your month, your year, your life, however long it may be. You all are all tremendously gifted, caring people. And those dreams that you all have are the ones worth fighting for. And you need to do this. Like it's not something that like it's not something that just that maybe could happen or possibly could happen. If you don't live out your dream, you will end up living out someone else's. So I'm going to ask you guys, why not us? Why not now? Why not us? Why not now? We got this. All right, we got this. Let's make our dreams come true. Make this happen, people. Let's go. And that, my friends, is your positivity talk. Dreams. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Man, sorry, guys. I probably got really loud there. Probably got kind of crazy, but man, it gets me excited.